Under the blinding studio lights, the audience sat in quiet anticipation. Cameras rolled, the red recording sign flickered on, and the anchor leaned forward with a grin that carried just the slightest trace of condescension. Across from her sat Senator John Kennedy, calm, collected, his hands resting lightly on the desk. He looked like a man who had weathered storms most people couldn't imagine and come out stronger. The anchor wasted no time. "Senator Kennedy," she began, her tone sharp and rehearsed, "don't you think your views are a bit outdated? Some would even say laughable in today's world." She smirked and, before he could even respond, let out a laugh. It wasn't the kind of laugh that came from humor, but the kind that dismissed a man before he even had the chance to speak. The crowd stirred, some uncomfortable, others entertained. But Kennedy didn't flinch. He didn't scowl, didn't snap back, didn't even shift in his chair. He simply looked at her, his eyes steady, and waited for the laughter to fade. And when it did, he spoke not with anger, but with a quiet, deliberate force that carried far deeper than anyone expected. "You know," he said softly, "it's easy to laugh at a man when you don't know the road he's walked." The studio fell silent. The anchor's smile faltered, replaced by curiosity she tried hard to disguise. Kennedy leaned in, his voice steady but filled with weight. "When I was a young boy, my family didn't have much. My father worked sunup to sundown, and my mother stretched every penny. I remember nights when the cupboards were empty, and yet, somehow, my parents made sure I never went to bed feeling unloved. They taught me something laughter can't erase, that dignity, hard work, and honesty don't go out of style." The anchor shifted in her chair. The audience was leaning in now, hanging on to every word. Kennedy's tone grew stronger, almost trembling with emotion but never losing control. "I've buried friends who fought for freedoms that gave you and me the right to sit here tonight. I've met men and women who came home with nothing but scars, some visible, some hidden, all for the country you and I both call home. And I've seen children, with shoes full of holes and empty stomachs, still stand proud when they recited the Pledge of Allegiance in school, because they believed in something bigger than themselves." He paused, letting the silence stretch, letting it pierce through the pretense of the studio. "So if what I believe, faith in God, love of country, respect for life, and duty to our people, is something you find outdated or laughable, then maybe the joke isn't on me. Maybe it's on all of us who forget the price paid so we could sit here today and choose whether to laugh or to listen." The anchor's face changed. The arrogance melted away, replaced by something she hadn't expected to feel: shame, but also respect. Her hand trembled slightly as she shuffled her notes, suddenly realizing that the man across from me